Okay, so I want to continue. I want to continue sharing my experience that I had yesterday. I think it's very important because what I felt was the love of Christ over my mother-in-law. Maybe there was some burden, some scars in me, even though I surrender every hurt from anybody and everybody to God, and I forgive them and stuff. But last night, we left our house, and I told my husband and my children, I'm going to pray. But before I pray, I'm going to pray for protection over us. So I pray protection over us. And then it's kind of like a 20-minute drive. And so I start praying, and then I start praying in the Spirit, and then I start praying, and I start praying in the Spirit, and I start praying, and I start praying in the Spirit, and all of a sudden I see my mother-in-law in front of me, and I see her as a child, like just playing with her fingers, and I was just thinking to myself, like I started crying, and I'm like, Lord God, forgive me for the moments that I murmur, for the moments that I gossip, for the moments that I just vented because she would treat me ill, But, in the Bible it says that mother-in-law against daughter-in-law, right? I would read that over and over. I'm like, Lord, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that against my mother-in-law. I love my mother-in-law. I want to be with her, but sometimes, we would clash. But even though I would keep my mouth shut. So that moment last night, God showed me the love He has for her. And I was broken, and I was crying. I couldn't stop crying. And I said, Lord God, I'm sorry, Lord, that I those moments wasted on complaining, I should have been praying, And so He gave me Romans, right? Focus on Romans 37. And I'm going to read it on this Bible. And it says, no, in all these things we are more than winners. We owe it all to Christ, who has loved us. And His love overcomes everything, and He showed me that last night, despite some differences. And I'm thinking loving her all this time by not talking back, by not in her presence, because I would go home and I'd be like, honey, your mom. But instead of doing that, I should have been praying. But it was a beautiful moment. And what I'm saying and why I'm sharing this is for you to do the same, to be Christ-like, to pray for those that hurt you, and especially your loved ones that you haven't talked to for a long time. Pray for them and ask for the love of Christ over your family.